Imagine two people standing at the starting line of life. Both have dreams. Both have goals. Both want something more. A better future. A better life. A better version of themselves. At first, they look almost identical. The same ambition. The same excitement. The same determination. But then life happens. The first person faces rejection. A failed business. A failed exam. A failed relationship. The pain hits hard. And slowly, they begin to question themselves. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe this isn't meant for me. Maybe I should stop trying. So they quit. Not because they lacked potential, but because they allowed temporary failure to become a permanent decision. Now imagine the second person. They face the same obstacles, the same setbacks, the same disappointments. They fail. Again and again. Yet somehow, they keep moving forward. Years later, their lives look completely different. One is still wondering what could have been. The other is living the life they once dreamed about. What made the difference? It wasn't talent. It wasn't luck. And it certainly wasn't perfection. It was psychology. Because people who never give up see the world differently. And today we're going to explore exactly how they think. They don't see failure the way most people do. Most people see failure as evidence. Evidence that they're not smart enough. Not talented enough. Not capable enough. Every mistake feels personal. Every setback feels like proof that they should stop. But people who never give up interpret failure differently. To them, failure is information. Nothing more. Nothing less. Imagine learning how to ride a bicycle. You fall. You scrape your knees. You lose balance. Would you conclude that bicycles aren't meant for you? Of course not. You understand that falling is part of learning. Yet when it comes to careers, relationships, businesses, or personal growth, many people suddenly expect perfection. And when perfection doesn't happen, persistent people understand something powerful. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is part of success. Every mistake contains information. Every setback contains a lesson. Every obstacle contains feedback. And when you begin viewing failure this way, you stop fearing it. They focus on the next step. One of the biggest reasons people quit is because they become overwhelmed. They stare at the mountain instead of the next step. Imagine standing at the base of a massive mountain. The peak disappears into the clouds. Looking at the entire climb feels impossible, intimidating, exhausting. Many people quit before they even begin, not because they can't climb, but because they're focused on the entire journey at once. People who never give up think differently. They don't ask, how do I reach the top? They ask, what's the next step? One step, then another. That's it. Progress becomes manageable. Psychologists often refer to this as reducing cognitive overwhelm. The brain performs better when focused on immediate actions rather than distant outcomes. And over time, small steps create extraordinary results. They don't trust their feelings. This may sound strange, but it's one of the biggest differences between average people and resilient people. Most people make decisions based on how they feel. If they feel motivated, they work. If they feel confident, they act. If they feel inspired, they pursue their goals. But what happens when motivation disappears? What happens when confidence fades? What happens when life becomes difficult? Most people stop. People who never give up understand something critical. Feelings are temporary. Commitment is not. They've learned that emotions change constantly. Some days you'll feel unstoppable. Other days you'll doubt everything. Neither feeling should determine your actions. Because if your progress depends on motivation, your progress will always be inconsistent. Persistent people continue moving even when they don't feel like it. And that's why they eventually surpass everyone waiting for the perfect mood. They build an identity around persistence. Most people focus on outcomes. Persistent people focus on identity. This is a huge psychological shift. Instead of saying, I want to become successful, they think, I am someone who doesn't quit. Instead of saying, I want to get fit, they think, I am someone who trains consistently. The difference seems small, but it changes everything. Because people naturally act in alignment with their identity. When persistence becomes part of who you are, giving up starts feeling unnatural. And every small action reinforces that identity. Every workout, every page read, every difficult conversation, every attempt. You're not just making progress. You're becoming someone who keeps going. They understand the power of time. Most people dramatically underestimate what can happen over a long period. We live in a world obsessed with quick results. Instant success, instant wealth, instant transformation. But reality works differently. Imagine improving just 1% every day. At first, nothing seems to change. Days pass, weeks pass, still nothing dramatic. Most people become discouraged here. They assume their efforts aren't working, so they stop. But people who never give up trust something most people ignore. Compounding. The same principle that grows wealth also grows skills, confidence, discipline, and success. Small efforts repeated consistently become powerful over time. And while others quit because results are invisible, persistent people continue building. Eventually, the results become impossible to ignore. The secret most people never realize: here's the truth. People who never give up aren't fearless. They aren't always confident. They aren't always motivated. And they certainly aren't perfect. They experience doubt, fear, failure, frustration, just like everyone else. The difference is simple. They refuse to let those emotions decide their future. They understand that success is often a test of endurance, not intelligence. Not talent, not luck. Endurance. The ability to continue when others stop. The ability to keep moving when progress feels slow. The ability to stay committed when results haven't arrived yet. That ability changes everything. Final thought: somewhere in the world right now, someone is about to quit. They're closer than they realize. But because they can't see the finish line, they're ready to walk away. Don't let that be you. Remember, the people you admire today were once beginners. The people who succeeded were once struggling. The people who achieved greatness were once uncertain. The difference is that they kept going. One more day, one more attempt, one more step. And eventually, those small moments of persistence became extraordinary lives. Because success rarely belongs to the most talented. It often belongs to the person who stayed in the game long enough. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the Mindscape, and comment below. I will keep going. And if you want more psychology and self-improvement content designed to help you master your mind and transform your life, stay tuned for the next video.